How we doing, everyone? What is going on? Another week. I feel like every single time I do this, it's just like I remember how fast time moves. It's crazy. But anyway, another week. Here we are. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. Hope that you got a lot done. Hope that you can hear me and see me as usual, all that sort of stuff. Let me know in the chat. It is a cold, rainy, I guess it's spring, but it doesn't really feel like spring at all yet. Day here in Pittsburgh. And I got lot to chat about, a lot of things to kind of like, a couple things to announce, a lot of things to chat about. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, my idea for today that I came up with an hour ago was like AI, obviously, because why not? But specifically, I really do kind of feel like that. The title and thumbnail, I feel like didn't really match too well on this one, but the concept of I feel like I'm falling behind in the AI renaissance. I think there's some credence to that I am just I think it's a little on the nose, like a little too much, maybe a little bit of hyperbole because if you think about it at a macro scale, there's a lot of people that haven't even jumped on the train yet, let alone, let alone feel like they might be falling behind. They might not even know the train exists. So we're kind of getting there, but I think most of the people that, kind of are in our sphere here, we do need to think about it. We do need to be, you know, I'd like to have more honest discussions about that, so to speak. So I want to get into that. I do have a couple announcements and different things here that I want to fly through, and then I just want to explore some stuff. And real quick, I'm probably gonna have to cut this like relatively short because I have other things to do, and I have a doctor's appointment later because not this past Sunday, the Sunday before that, I was playing ball hockey, and this dude like hip checked me, and I have either bruised ribs or broken ribs. I don't know, but I haven't been able to run in a couple weeks now, and I'm little concerned because I need to be able to play golf and run. So yeah. So anyway, let's dive into this stuff and let's talk about some of these things here. So the first thing I got on my list here is WP Town Hall tomorrow. Another episode with Jake Goldman. I don't know if you guys know who Jake Goldman is. You should, but if you don't, he's the founder of 10up. So like when you hear like big WordPress agency, 10up is always in that conversation. Extremely excited for that conversation. With Kevin, Jake, and myself. I think that's going to be fantastic. If you guys, it's not on here yet because we got to schedule it on YouTube, so you'll see it here shortly. But tomorrow, so Friday, the 11th of April at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I know it's a little bit different of a weird time, but we had to adjust the schedules and everything. 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You will see it on Kevin's channel. Like I'll share it out and everything like that. But WP Town Hall tomorrow with Jake Goldman is going to be a banger. Again, it's a podcast that you can be a part of. So if you want to join in there, you can watch on YouTube and wherever and stuff like that. But you could also come into the room and be a part of that. If you're an agency owner and you want to have, like if you want to continue to scale your operations and you're interested in what actual enterprise level stuff is like, going to be very interesting. And not just enterprise. I mean, again, 10up and Jake have gone from, where everyone else was at up to that level. I'm just super excited for that conversation. So I'm happy it came together. And yeah, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Don't miss it. So that'll be great. And that is oh, Jesus Christ. The AI grifter is in the house. Are you referring to yourself, sir? Or are you referring, yeah, I think you're referring to yourself there. Good. I'm just following your lead. So yeah, we're just gonna keep saying AI, and then see what happens. Speaking of that, not at all. MJS podcast. Now this website kind of looks like shit right now. This is just the Transistor one that I put very little time into, but very exciting. We now have a podcast all of our own as well. Piggybacking off of the WP Town Hall announcement there, we have the MJS podcast. Now, you have to just watch. If you have any questions, you have to just watch the first 20-minute episode that I did just by myself. But the subsequent episodes will be with actual, good, genuine conversations with people that like intrigue me and innovators and entrepreneurs and things like that. People that have influenced me and mentored me. I already have 2 filmed and ready to go out. And I'm excited about that because I have these conversations all the time. I wish they were recorded. I'm now there's a little bit of history with me doing this, but there's more to come. Now it's a little bit of a revamp and a rebrand. So yeah, so you can kind of go check that out. If you just go to mjspodcast.com, highly recommend, by the way, as far as from my experience, Matt Medeiros in the chat told me to use Transistor. Pretty solid platform here overall. Can't, no complaints thus far. There's not too many like website like themes per se. There's like 5 of them, but you can change these pretty reasonably. And obviously, we're all in this field. We could probably just build our own damn thing if we really wanted to, because I've done that in the past. And but you got to really weigh, like, I'm really trying to like be a little bit better. Like, there's again, today is more of a shotgun approach, because this is all gonna. I feel like if there's ever a thing that is nuanced, it is like AI. And I know we're talking about podcasting here, but the concepts are unbelievably like heady when you actually think about it. It's like, oh, should I use AI? Like, am I actually falling behind in the AI renaissance? The answer to that question is actually probably no. It's probably I'm way ahead of the average person, but I feel like I'm falling behind because the people that I want to be following are ahead of me. But the idea here is like, there is so much. I feel like the one thing that we're missing here, I'm going to jump into this and then come back to some other things real quick. The one thing that I think we're missing here, I think there's a lot of missed, not saying across the board, but in general, I think there's a lot of cost benefit analysis like that is not happening on a lot of these things. Like, the reason that this sparked in my mind was because of this podcast, silly podcast website thing, right? So it's like I could click 4 buttons and have a decent website right here on this podcasting platform thing. Or I could do what I did back in like 2020 when I had podcasts for myself, podcasts with my now wife, and like I built these whole ass like podcast websites on WordPress with episodes that are dynamically fed in and e-commerce swag from like a Printful and stuff like that. Now, it taught me a lot, but if you're actually at the point where you know how to do a lot of those things, what is the cost benefit analysis of you doing and taking all that time to do something versus just doing the simplest thing that gets you to where you need to be? Now, that's still super loaded, because it's like, okay, where do you value the, where do you value like the fundamentals, all these other types of things? But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, there is some level of a cost benefit analysis on certain things that you have to do, especially if it's kind of like your own, like a side project in this case with like the MJS podcast as an example. So all I'm saying is that I think I've learned to think about like, hey, I could do this like incredibly with a fine tooth comb, but I'm not like, it doesn't make any money. It doesn't make any money yet. It's been 1 episode as this is an example. If your business isn't making any money yet, like, maybe don't fucking waste all your time, making the thing perfect. Like, maybe go out and make some money with the thing and sell your service or sell your product, and then come back and start to refine some of those things. So just random thought there as we were looking at the podcast episodes or the podcast website themes, because there's a few of them you can change them. It's cool. Highly recommend Transistor. Shout out Matt Medeiros for giving me a good recommendation thus far. The podcast is all over the place. If you go to the subscribe thing, I think it's going to show you a bunch of different ones. It's all over. There is this one as well. Like, so the way that I'm doing this is I'm doing it with a video component on YouTube. There's 2 different ways, just real quick podcast stuff, because if you're interested in this, like, you can put your podcast on a platform like that, and then you can have it auto like push via RSS feed into the YouTube ecosystem. And again, you talk to Matt Medeiros, he's going to tell you that that's bullshit. It's all messy. And again, I do agree. I actually I don't like it for different reasons. I don't like it because it's on YouTube. I don't want audio only on YouTube. That is inherently not what YouTube wants, and I don't want to do that. So I don't have that system set up. I don't have the RSS feed into YouTube. What I did was I just created it over in Transistor. Transistor handles the RSS piece to all the platforms and everything like that. Really interesting. You literally just click buttons and it just sends it out to different platforms. It's kind of cool. Just submits it and then you can do it. And then with YouTube here, this is literally like me basically copying all of the info and uploading it directly to YouTube. And so I'm doing a little bit of extra work because I have to upload it twice. But the other thing is like what you're seeing here is actually it's a playlist, but it's a special podcast playlist to, I think, have some of those other features if you want them, the RSS shit, but it's really not what it is. I mean, it's really just a playlist ultimately, and it just shows up in a special part of your channel if you end up doing this. You just have like a podcast tab rather than just a playlist tab, and you can come in here and you can see it. So, if you guys are interested, mjspodcast.com. What my strategy for this right now, real quick, last thing is it's up on podcasting platforms, and then I will be posting the videos as you can see here. Like if you were watching today, like this is the first episode, and it's the video component of it. So if you're a video component guy like me and you like YouTube, then they will all be on this channel. They'll be in the podcast playlist. They'll show in the video grid. You can watch them there, or you can listen to them on your podcasting platform. Just go to mjspodcast.com. Everything's there. And yeah, should be a great time. Because again, I've had these conversations so many times with great people. So many people have influenced me. I want to try to continue to have these good recorded conversations. I have a list of 30 plus people already that I want to chat with. So I'm looking forward to it. But it's just another thing that I wanted to do there. So definitely not pioneering anything in the guest podcast space. It's not very innovative, but I think the conversations are going to be valuable. So hopefully you guys check it out. So that's that. Cool. Now, another thing before let me go over to the chat here real quick. Cameron says, the best way to achieve absolutely nothing in your career is to chase every shiny object that comes your way. Plenty of web dev work, whether you use AI or not. I agree with that. I do agree with that. That is a good thing to always keep in mind. Toby, what's up? Thank you very much. Appreciate that on the new podcast. Thank you. Matt says it's a playlist for YouTube music too. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it shows up in YouTube music, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of the bullshit side of podcasting, right? Because it's all on the YouTube. It's like you have RSS over here, and then you have YouTube in this other ecosystem. And there's no way to, I mean, there's the RSS thing, but now they're a little disjointed, if I'm thinking for a way. Maybe not. My point is the whole thing is, again, Matt and I have had this conversation many times, but I want video on my podcasts, and I want a video component of it. And there's not really, I feel like, a great way to do that yet because audio, so, but yeah, cool. This guy's a real media tycoon. You know what, Brendan? I'm trying. I don't know if I'm really succeeding. I do have, this is actually real quick, another quick aside here, all related here, is if you come over to marksmancy.co/projects. So I was thinking about this actually very recently because we talk with like sponsors, tools, all these different like products and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think about all these different things. Like there are like a lot of content properties. Like if you do this, there's like a lot of content properties that you could start to kind of like leverage. So like MJS podcast is its own thing. WP Town Hall is its own thing. Bridge Builders obviously is its own thing. There's a lot of different things in the live streams. So a lot of different verticals almost that you could start to kind of hit on. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just talking, and occasionally it goes well, occasionally it doesn't. And yeah, so just kind of an interesting, I'm learning a lot there. Hopefully, some of this is valuable, but there's different types of content, but then there's also different content properties. Like I put out that tweet, where's this at here? Is it here? I put out that tweet right here. Like I'm unveiling a new content property. I thought this was funny. I thought it was funny. I try to tweet funny things and post funny things. I don't know if anybody thought this was funny. I'm unveiling a new content property tomorrow. Is it a Amazon live shopping show, Bean Burrito blog, Sock Puppet news show, and Plant Whisperer podcast? So I guess if you said this is the closest. But Sock Puppet news show, Kevin, yeah, that's Bo Burnham. If you've ever seen this special with Bo Burnham, it's fantastic. But anyway, Bean Burrito blog's funny. So real quick, because we're on a super tangent here. This right here, this Amazon live shopping show. So I don't know if you got some of you guys have been around for a while. I know. If you guys have been around this media marketing game for a long time, I wasn't like present when I could have actually acted on this shit. But bringing up an old name here, Gary Vaynerchuk. The dude was like, I don't know if he just made a lot of predictions and some of them turned out to be right, or if he or if he actually like knew exactly kind of like what he was talking about, like everything. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention because I know he's kind of like on the he's still relevant, but he's not the guy anymore. This fucking live shopping thing is actually like really interesting. I've seen a couple clips from it, and it's like, on TikTok or on, I don't know if really Amazon's the best thing, but like live shopping where you're doing something, you're creating some level of content and like and selling directly like in a live stream. Super intriguing. I'm not saying I'm going to start that right now or anything. I don't really have anything to do that with, but the concept is interesting. And again, I just think that those types of things are always, intriguing to kind of kind of, tilt your head and be like, interesting. Is that the next big thing? Not saying to chase it, just saying something to think about. Okay. Back to the chat here for a second. Cameron says, always a good idea to have video, even if you don't use it. You can create audio from video, but not the other way around. Exactly. Well, it's getting kind of crazy now. I mean, you can create a lot of shit just with AI, but I'm just kidding. But I hear you. But you're clearly succeeding. You should be sued for being too humble. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Toby. Thank you. Right back at you, man. Brennan says, don't rule out being burrito plug. That's honestly, yeah, seriously. I think I might have to do it. Might have to do it. Speaking of all this stuff, we're gonna need a new space to do this shit in because I still have relatively bad lighting in here, and well, I mean, I've kind of made it a little bit better with turning the overheads off, but yeah, I don't like this space. It's not very professional. It does the job, but one little bit of a level up here. So just real quick, if you guys haven't seen some of these things, I've been trying to do this because I think the updates are kind of cool. This is I don't even know. Brendan and I were talking last night. I don't even know what the hell to classify this as. This is just like an extra room in the corner of my basement. Looks a little shitty right now. I should probably like clean this wall off a little bit, but this is just in my basement here. And this room has been through many different iterations. This was actually my wife's like family's house for years before we bought it. So I ripped a bunch of shit up. There was carpet on here. There was like little code-based stuff around the edges. I am literally ripping the shit out of this place to kind of like redo it. It's actually finished relatively nicely. Like it doesn't look great in this photo, but like this stuff is like decent craftsmanship. It's just old. So I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do here fully yet, but if you've been watching some of the updates, I've been doing a couple little things here. I think the room is probably maybe like 12 by 12 or something like that. But I'm going to make it look nice, and you're not going to see this angle. I'm just giving you the behind the scenes because I like you guys. But I think my desk is going to go here on the left-hand side. I'm going to shoot, obviously, across the way. So that right-hand wall there is something that you need to keep in mind because that's the thing that you're going to see, and that's, we're going to build a studio in this space. I'm doing this for two reasons. One, current studio setup is shit. Second reason is because in about like a year to 2 years, we plan on having a child. So if like the way the house is currently set up, like I need to move out of this room. So yeah, so that's where I'm going to be residing, at least for the office studio side of my life here. And yeah, so just a couple quick things. This is me fishing an Ethernet cable. If you ever like fished Ethernet cable through your walls, don't. It's I don't know. It's kind of rewarding, but it's manual labor. This is me making the Ethernet jack thing in the wall there, so I could have some good internet. And then this is people gave me shit for this because I was using the pass-through cables, pass-through connectors. If you don't use pass-through connector, don't even do this. Like literally, don't even try. And yeah, this is just like another shot of it while I was working or whatever. So I think there's some shots in here doing electrical work. I'm an electrician, not, but I have a little bit of experience because I renovated the whole upstairs of this house when we moved in. So here's where I kind of like wanted a little bit of opinion maybe from you guys, or just like, as YouTube viewers and YouTubers, some of yourselves, right? Is like, I just took a couple screenshots just of different creators that I knew like had good, good visual stuff behind him. This is an interesting video from Ali Abdul because he actually explained how he made this whole studio, and it's really interesting. But like, I don't know what necessarily, I know what I think looks good, but just thinking about, maybe I'll put some polls out to see, like, because I have no idea what to do with the back of the studio. I don't even know exactly what angle to put it at because, some people put it in the corner. So I don't know, just a couple different things like this, like just kind of, again, random screenshots. There's obviously some pieces to it that are you have to do, like the lighting and everything like that. Like I get the lighting theory. I'm trying to make it as acoustic as possible, as good for that. But just like the vibe, I don't know. I have no idea. Kevin's obviously. Um, this is Dan Coey, if you don't know him. Good watch. Krayler, my boy, Christian Taylor. Um, I don't even know who this guy's, but yeah. So yeah, that's Wes McDowell. Um, this guy's stuff is cool, but I don't know his name. So I don't know. My point is like, just like going through that, just kind of going through the progressions there. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that, but that is just a quick thing about the studio piece of it. Cameron, thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. It's asleep. Yeah, it's late there, dude. I've been going to sleep at like no later than 11 recently. It's been fantastic. So I appreciate you staying up. What light do you have up there? Oh, so okay, so those lights are, I don't know where the hell those. This is good question. I'll put together a full thing. I have it somewhere on my thing right now, but I don't think I have this. So quick story. This was like from multiple different multiple different iterations of this room and like other rooms, like for podcasting, like different shows that me and my wife have had, and what my wife and her friend have had, because that's what this kind of was. So these little things up here are these I don't know what they're called. They're just called like little, somebody knows probably, but they're little things to hang lights with that extra little thing that comes on all these soft boxes, the way that they connect. So they just like kind of screw together there and just like clamp down. That is, I think that's a GXM or something. It's one of the Amazon ones. It's like a 3-pack, 1, 2, 3. Comes with the little comes with the tripods. I had to buy those things on the wall separately so I could hang those. But yeah, I think GXM. I think cheap soft boxes from Amazon. That's what they are. But they're great. I mean, I think they have different color temperature and all that. But when I do this, I'm going to put everything over here. And I don't know. I try to shout this out because I think this is a cool concept, but it's relatively poorly executed right now. If you go to my website here, um, the blueprints, and then you come down to desk setup. This is the desk. This is what I'm looking at right now. Obviously, like I'll update this everything, but I want to have like a studio list as well, because I genuinely love getting those types of questions, because I feel like I'm gonna end up putting a shit ton of effort and research into thinking about this stuff, and then I want to make sure that other people like know, like so I can kind of give the feedback there. Like I'm looking at the Elgato key light up here right now, but I'm gonna have like multiple lights and shit to work with. So again, I'll update this when it's time. But that current one up there is just a one of the soft boxes from Amazon, which I would recommend. I mean, you can get 3 for like maybe $100 or something, 150 maybe. So he said that's very nice. You'll have a good depth of field for a camera. Yeah, I gotta. That's the other thing too, is like I have this right here. I have the Sony ZV-1 that I'm looking at, which is just like a point and shoot effectively. It's a nicer point and shoot, but I've had it for a very long time. Might have to upgrade to like an actual proper DSLR with a lens, because I do want it to actually look good. I mean, the lighting helps incredibly. I mean, like obnoxiously much. Like before I had a light, you would not. I mean, maybe you guys go back and see it. Like it looks like shit. And then like the funny part is, I was watching some older videos yesterday. I was doing some like timeline of events, like research and like adjusting, because I have this big spreadsheet of all these different things that have happened. And I have many past lives that I have actually unlisted. This is another thought. I've many past lives that I've unlisted the videos on YouTube from. Like I have 60 vlogs of me redoing this house that were on this channel. I have crypto videos, not a ton of crypto videos, but I like a crypto phase for like a year and a half where I was like making videos and shit. And I was like going back and I watched one, and it was about like me starting over in crypto, and how I I didn't really know what I was doing at first or whatever. And I still don't fucking know because I just stopped. But like when I would it happens a little bit now, but it happens way less with the light. When you like change from like a light to a dark, you see like how like you can kind of see it. I was literally like pitch black when it was when it was a dark website. It's just silly, but kind of funny. Yeah. So point of me saying that is like lighting helps a shit ton, but I think to really get that kind of like separation, The lens is really the big thing, and I can't put a lens. I mean, maybe I could do like a weird lens on this thing, but it's not meant for a lens. It's meant for a, point and shoot thing. So yeah. Um, looks like the set from the Dick Cavett show. Let's fucking. I don't know that show, Brendan, but I feel like I have to Google it now. Um, damn it. Show set. Oh, Jesus Christ, Brendan. Come on now. That's ridiculous. That's old. Fuck. Yeah, we gotta upgrade this. That's not gonna work. I'm not Dick Cavett. All right. A little bit of practical lights on the side. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I definitely need the key light, kind of like a fill light or a rim light or whatever, some practicals in the back. I'm not worried about the lighting. I'm gonna have enough lights. I don't think I'm gonna have to spend any money on lighting. The real big thing is the backdrop. So I know you guys have a lot of good things here. Don't add wooden panels. It's getting old, Adam says. Yeah, it's that's actually kind of funny. Yeah, I've seen those slat things in the background. I think any of these I think Wes has them, but they're kind of like a little off to the side over here. Um I don't know. Yeah, I mean everybody seems like they're doing that. I got to like maybe break the mold and just do some random shit back there or something. I don't know. I mean, I think they look nice. The thing is like I'm actually I didn't really say this, but like in this room here, I plan on I have to make sure this floor is like level and shit because there's some cracks in it. So that's not great. But I got to make sure the floor is like all good. And then I don't think we get too much moisture or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna be like good on all that sort of stuff. But like I have when I redid our upstairs, I have extra vinyl plank that I'm gonna put down. So that's great. It's gonna look a lot nicer than whatever that shit right there. But the problem is that it's going to it's kinda gonna be like in here, I guess. I'm gonna need to do a little bit more sound treatment because I if I'm gonna do all this, like, I wanna make sure that, like, I'm not, you know, I don't know, whatever I can do to make it, I got a little bit better microphone here, but I wanna make sure that I cut down on echo and stuff as much as possible just because I'm gonna have a space dedicated for this. So, might have to put some level of rugs down or something, but, yeah, I don't know. My point is that there's a lot that kind of goes into this, more than you think before you start. And then, yeah, I mean, on the background here, it's definitely not going to stay like this, but I guess I can't. I don't know. The slat walls seems like they're a little old now, old school. Jackson, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Poop Burger says it's basically white background with posters and hue lights, sign gradient table lamp. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, everybody does the same shit. I'd like to be like a little different, I guess. But I also just like I don't know. This is a weird thing. It's like you can do something completely different and just be totally out there. Um if I had like some level of a theme, you know, then that would be kind of cool. But I don't know. Just a thought. Toby says, if you turn that Elgato light towards that wall in front of you, be way better lighting. It'll look like you're using a softbox because you're interesting. I'm gonna have to try that then. I'm gonna have to try that. Appreciate the suggestion. Okay. Let's see. Last other thing that I had thought of here. If you guys have any more, appreciate all the studio feedback. I'm gonna put up some more polls and things like that because next step is like the flooring and everything like that. Then I have to figure out this backdrop. But if you have any thoughts, let me know. I'll put up some polls. Last thing I want to talk about is PressConf is coming up extremely fast. And if you guys aren't there, if you guys aren't going to be there, then we'll miss you. But I'm super excited for it. Should be a great time. A lot of really good speakers going to be there. I will be on stage. So that's exciting. And yeah, I mean, this is cool. You can even see like who's coming, like publicly who's going to be there. So if you want to go head over to the link that I dropped and then click on the attendees, you can see all the great people that will be in Arizona in a couple weeks. Stoked. Hope to see you guys there. That would be phenomenal. Yeah, that's what I got. Okay. So let's dive into this AI topic situation here because I've been talking for long enough. I appreciate you guys listening. Here's the thing. I wanted to kick this off with just a little bit of kind of the stuff that I was talking about earlier. Like how How are you guys feeling? I'm asking this question for two reasons. The first question is one related to like AI and stuff like that. The second question is related to like how can I provide more value moving forward? Because I feel like I sometimes stray away from that. And I just talk about shit that I'm doing, which I think can be valuable, but it's not as direct. Like over the past few times here, I'll kick it off with this. Over the past few like live streams here, I feel like some of them just like aren't like like they're not like watch worthy because there's like a lot of just random shit that I'm talking about. So I want to be a little bit more refined. I've watched a lot more and I've seen and paid attention to a lot more like great not I wouldn't even call them content creators. I would call them like educators on YouTube, and I just kind of want to I feel like I need to get back to that a little bit. Um so yeah, it's a journey. I'm not like, I'm trying to give myself as much grace as possible, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I tee this up with for two reasons. Like I said, one, for my own like content and how I can provide more value, but two, specifically trying to get an idea of I know who you guys are, obviously, but I'm trying to get like a deeper idea of like what you actually are. I have it written down here like, what are you worried about? What are your problems? That's a little weird of a way to say it. I just wrote it like real quick, but I mean, what is going on either in your businesses from the agency side or if it's content side or whatever? How are you feeling right now? Because I'm going to explain to you how I'm feeling, and maybe it's similar, maybe it's different, but how are you feeling right now with all of the constant bombardment of AI and automation and just like almost like, typical kind of like almost like borderline doomsday type shit for some of the things. And then on the polar opposite end of that, there's like doomsday, like AI is good, da, da, da. And then on the other side of it, it's AI is not a big deal, like don't worry about it or whatever. I kind of try to sit right in the middle, and be like, yes, AI is like moving like quickly, and I'm gonna show you some things that I've like kind of been doing with just some of the tooling. Maybe you guys have been doing it, maybe you haven't been, maybe you've been doing way more. But I think like for me, I'm trying to embrace it, but I'm also like constantly uh worried is too strong of a word, but I can't think of a synonym. Like slightly concerned about there are things out there. I'm not worried about these tools taking my job or, me not being able to provide any value because these tools are going. I do think it's going to continue to get better. Like so that's the problem is like now we have tooling and people that know how to use the tooling getting way better, way faster. That's a real concern, but it's like just learn the tools and you'll be fine. Like that's my kind of my answer to it. It's very simple. It's stupid simple. But that's where my mindset's going. The trouble is that we already have all these other things that we know we have to use and all that sort of stuff. So then I look at maybe a good illustration is literally just the subscriptions here because what I've done is I've curated my subscriptions more to be like a little bit of WordPress but more heavily like this next version of things because I want to stay in touch with WordPress. I'm going to, but I want to leverage it in this next way of kind of like how we're doing things, right? And we see a lot of this, WordPress. Literally, where the hell is it? Matt made the video about WordPress AI, the WordPress AI builder. They put the video out, yesterday about their AI builder. This isn't about that because okay, that's like one small iota in this whole thing. But my point is like, again, I've watched a lot of Nick Sarayev's content. You guys should definitely go check him out if you're interested in like AI and automation. Like, it's just incredible what you can do with this stuff. And a lot of the AI automation stuff you could have already done. But I'm just thinking like there's a lot of opportunities there, and I'm not trying to stray away completely from like where we're at. But I do think it's important to like keep an eye on these types of things. And yeah, so I'm just kind of thinking like if any of you guys like could uh, you know, express like how you're feeling about these things. Cause again, that's kind of how I feel is generally sometimes I'm like looking all this stuff and I know all the tools like by basically by name and by like sight almost, but I don't have a good handle on how to use them or how to leverage them at all. Um, and again, I just want to be completely honest. It's like if this WordPress AI builder can build a website like this with a couple prompts, we could all look at this and be like, it's not great. You know what I mean? Like it's not a website of our caliber that we would build, but it's the first iteration of that, like of that tool. So how like like when we say that, is that is that like a defense reflex of, oh, it's not that good. It's like, is the tool going to get better? Like if you put yourself up against like an AI website builder tool and the team behind that and the algorithms behind that, like, are you going to get better faster, or is that tool going to get better faster? I mean, it's got the entire world to learn from. It's just kind of like what I'm saying. So I just don't see a world moving forward where this is not a huge piece of the puzzle. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, I guess, in so many words. So that's kind of like like how I'm feeling. I don't know if you guys. I'm not trying to ask you to jam that all in a YouTube comment how you feel, but that's what I'm thinking. When are you getting to the AI stuff? I thought you had a hard out. Yeah, bro. This is it, dude. Well, my appointment isn't until later, but this is it, dog. You just came in at a good time. Um, Good morning from Cape Cod. What's up, David? Appreciate you being here. So yeah, um, that's kind of what I'm thinking at a high level. So now let me just, you guys, if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to drop them. Feel free to make videos on them, whatever. I'll watch them. But anyway, I'm just going to give you my, April 2025 way that I'm currently thinking about this. And I don't know where this lies in, like the average person's usage of AI, but I'll give you some thoughts. Over the weekend, I was actually with I was with my parents, and I was like, my dad like has this job where he's got to like manage like purchasing and a bunch of different stuff or whatever. And he has this one example where he takes in invoices, and then he's got to put it like he's got to do some math on like the each line item, and then like add it and like do all this different stuff or whatever. I'm like, that could definitely, there's definitely some automation there, but let's not even talk about the automation. Like, there's no reason you need to take that all into a calculator. You could just do that in Claude. So, so you get Claude, you get Claude Plus, whatever. You drop the PDF in here, and then you say, hey, like just look at the farthest right hand column in a PDF, like not even in or actually, it's even better with images. Funny thing, I'll tell you about this. I was dropping in PDFs, and I was like, oh, it can't see the numbers for some stupid reason, because the PDF wasn't like whatever, like it was just a scanned PDF or something rather than a true PDF or some shit. If you just take a picture of it though and you change it to a JPEG, it works fine. So you just say like, hey, go to the farthest right hand column. I don't have the thing right now, but go to the farthest right hand column. There's a bunch of numbers. Add them up, multiply them, to get taxed or whatever, and then put them together. Works like a fucking charm. So I'm just saying that the way that I've shifted my mind, at least I would say on the intermediate level of AI, is anytime that there's something that I think this fucking thing can do, just throw it at it and see if it can do it. Because I'd like to save my brain power and save my time with letting these things do it. Right now, Claude's like $20 a month. I want to talk about ChatGPT and Sora here in a second. Like, they're like $20 a month. This shit is unbelievably cheap for what you can do with it. I mean, you can see a bunch of the chats and shit. Like, I'm throwing a lot of random shit at this. The problem is, the thing that I have not unlocked yet is I haven't unlocked like how to make true money from these things. Like, you see Matt Medeiros, like he's in the chat here. He's doing like a bunch of like really cool shit that is like definitely further ahead than where I am thinking about these things, because they could be like transformed into products or whatever. It really matters on what you want to do. Like, I'm not telling you to upend your fucking business to just start making AI shit, but I'm saying like you have to think about where you want to go. But there's so much low hanging fruit that I hope people are taking advantage of, regardless of what you think about in this space. Because I do not write anything anymore. I absolutely do not write anything longer than a couple sentences anymore. Anything where I have to like send an email or like a wordy email or anything like that, this is literally what I'm doing. That's a voice in thing right there. That's like an extension. I am clicking Alt L on my keyboard, and then I am talking into my computer and saying, hey, Claude, I need you to write an email back to so-and-so. And I'll just explain like everything. I really want to tell them about this, and this, but honestly, there's some current concerns over here. So maybe, can you tweak it a little bit like this and kind of like make sure that you include these other details down here. This is obviously going to be a shit prompt, but that's literally what I do. Okay. And I'll even give it the context. There's probably a better way to do this. I'm not telling you this is the most efficient way. I'm just telling you like to think like this. I feel like I will take I would take a screenshot of the email that was just sent to me and I'll put it in here. Now you could do this a little bit obviously with I've seen it in there. I haven't tested it yet. There's like a polish feature in like Gmail or whatever. This stuff's going to get more integrated with like Gemini or Copilot or what the fuck you use. But the point is that this is how I'm using it, and I'm saving a shit ton of time. Like because like I'm not just like boom, copy, paste, send. I'm like, this is so much more that I don't have to think about or don't have to waste time trying to figure out. I'm already wasting enough time trying to think about how to respond and prompting it. But if I had to actually physically like kind of like massage it myself and get it from version one, I just think that, that's such a low hanging fruit there. Like, do not write anything ever again. I'm gonna say something that's like extremely, it's gonna piss everyone off. Honestly, like if you yourself are a half decent copywriter, I think you can use Claude. I'm speaking specifically for Claude because I think it's the best at writing. You could probably write most of the copy yourself. Like if you have a good understanding of the business, what does a copywriter do? They ask a bunch of questions about the business and then they're good at putting words together. This fucking thing is good at putting words together. Okay, so you got that covered. If you know enough about the business and you know enough to have somebody sitting next to you and explain the business to them, you could use this for copywriting. I'm just going to say that, and then people can yell at me for saying that, but I'm going to say that because I know that that's possible. I'm not saying that you could just say, hey, I'm not saying you could do this. Hey, Claude, I need you to write all of the copy for a bakery website that I'm creating. I am not saying you could do that. That is not what I'm saying you can do. It's obviously going to ask you questions anyway, but I'm not saying it could do that. You have to put in a shit ton of information. It would be beneficial if you went to a project and you created all that stuff. So you could basically train your own little siloed LLM area, like with the instructions of all the stuff, and then do that. That would be highly advantageous and probably work. But you can absolutely do this. So I think we're in this section right now where like, I've still heard like some people say that like copywriters are worth it. I'm not trying to like personally insult copywriters with saying this shit. I'm just trying to be like objective in this. There's probably still reasons that you would want to use copywriters, but just like, there are other reasons that you would, just over the course of time, like, I don't know, blacksmiths were highly in demand at one point. Now I would imagine they're much less in demand. It's kind of that type of situation is kind of what I'm seeing. So that's just me. I think that I'm relatively at least in the arena with that take. So that's just another way that I would consider doing that. Another thing, I know a lot of this is writing concern right now, but that is one of the main ways I've been using it. So like anything email wise, anything title and description wise, every single time I have a project and I just prompt it to be like, hey, I go to YouTube, I drop in my whole video transcription, I copy it all, I put it in this prompt, in this project, and I say chapters, description, and title ideas, please, and it spits it all out. You got to be careful with the chapters thing because sometimes it's a little wonky there. But those are never. I'm never doing that. Like I'm never watching my video and spending an hour watching the video back and actually putting chapters through it again and again. There's already AI tools that I think Descript and stuff like that might already do that. So this is just one way to do that, but that's another idea. So emails, any sort of descriptions and all that sort of stuff. The other thing is, like even like contracts. Now be a little careful here. Not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But if like the thing is like I feel like, and this is my own problem sometimes. I feel like I'm doing shit that like nobody has done before sometimes. I feel like that's the thought that I have, and it's absolutely fucking not the case like 90% of the time. Everything that I've done, and this is again, I think a big larger conversation to have kind of in our industry. We all want to feel a little special when we put together a website for somebody. I feel like that's at least part of like the sect of the industry that I kind of deal with the most. But at the end of the day, it is special because it's unique. It's its own business. But a lot of times this shit has already like kind of existed in one way or another. Like the website that you make, the 5-pager website that you make for somebody that looks great, functions great, whatever. It's not like that's innovative. And that's not a dig. That's just like the reality of the situation. So I think like when you take it back to some of these other things, it's like I've been able to create like, kind of like MSA documents that I would again recommend running by a lawyer, or contracts or statements of work or things like that just by taking inspiration from other places and then being like, hey, you look at these ones over here, be like, here's a bunch of like different documents or different types of things that like I feel like kind of miss the mark just slightly, but are good starting points. Take these, and then I'm going to prompt you with more information, supplemental information, and you fill in the blanks, and then we'll obviously refine. Like that's I think people aren't doing that. If you're not doing that at this point, I do think you're falling behind slightly because not on the average thing, but in the average of like the industry, that type of shit is just so low hanging. Like the amount of time that I've saved, the amount of energy that I've saved, the amount of honestly money probably in some ways is just I think it helps. The amount of money that I've probably made too by like increasing the way that I think about certain situations and kind of asking, the really what we're asking is like the LLM, but the like really the world, like the world's knowledge, and not we're asking it in a different way. We're asking it in a way that has been curated differently than just like, you know, um Google search results. It's like obviously. So I don't know. I'm probably not telling you guys too much that you don't know like technically from a like what these platforms are, but from an actual practical standpoint, I just think they've helped me a lot so far. And that's just the writing part. So yeah. Brennan said stuff moves so incredibly fast outside of WordPress. I would agree with that. Tell your dad about Llama Index. Oh shit. I gotta write that one down. My man hates words but can talk for 8 hours. Oh my dude, that's totally different. I don't, it's speaking, bro. It's not writing. I never said I hate words. I said I hate writing and reading. But yeah. So what else we got here? Although I did read a whole book. I did read a whole book on Justin Moore's sponsor magnet book recently. That was a trip. That was a physical book that I read. Y'all should be proud of me. But yeah. So what else do we have here? Let me see. Let me just go through my chats. I know you can't see this right now. Let me see if there's like any other. I mean, again, like choosing podcast hosting options after I was talking to Matt Medeiros. Like I was like, hey, is this guy bullshitting me? Like what's going, like, it's just like throwing so much at it. There's a funny one in here. Those poll questions, those poll thought, you think I came up with fucking bean burrito blog? I didn't come up with that. Well, I mean, I think it said burrito blog or something. I was like bean burrito. Like, like it's just this type of shit is just it's funny. It's definitely funny, but it's concerning in a slightly dystopian way. This is where it comes. It's like if I don't think of anything myself and I'm prompting, then it's like, okay, well, there's no original thought. That's kind of true. But at the same time, I'm not asking for innovative things. Like I mean, you could ask for innovative things, and you could go and do it yourself or whatever. But you could ask it for something that's never been invented, and then it would give you an idea, and you could be like, okay, whatever. But I'm not. I think there's so many things. To wrap this point up, because I think this is a better way to say it. There are so many things that we do that we think are innovative or unique or original thought, and they're just not. And that is all that this is kind of showing me. This is illustrating it to me. It's like somebody somewhere probably thought of this and it's on the internet, or a version of it, an iteration of it is on the internet. And I asked for something similar. And I'm not stealing it from them because I don't know who they are. Like it's just like common information now in a way. I'm not like stealing brand names. I'm not stealing things like that. Like it's just common knowledge. And that's what I'm feeding kind of into it. There's only so many words in the human language, and so many have been spoken and written. It's like we are losing some level of originality. I don't know what that long term looks like. Uniqueness in originality and innovation. I don't know what that looks like for all that, but that's kind of the way that I think about it. Because I don't know a better way to think about it without feeling like extremely dystopian about it. Because there is a lot moving, and it's like very easy to like write an entire book now with prompting or something. So I don't know. I just think it's the next iteration, next evolution. The other thing I want to say here is, again, I want to reiterate this is I wish I was a little older so I could have like specific things here, but I know a lot of older people and they tell me a lot of good stuff, right? A lot of wisdom. This really looks like no going back to me. it looks like we're not this isn't it's not like you can complain about the AI builders and then they're going to get shittier tomorrow. They're not going to get shittier. They're going to get better. So any time, this is one of the there's probably been other things here that I have noticed over time and I just haven't put these together. But anytime somebody complains about AI not being good enough, it's like, what the fuck are we talking about here, bro? Like it's gonna get better. So why are we complaining about why are we downplaying it? Is kind of is a thought that's running around in my head right now that I I'm trying to think about. Why would we why are we it's like that this train is coming up on your ass and you're like, yeah, but it's still a mile back, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, are you faster than the fucking train? Is really my question. I think is a really good way to think about this. And this is the way that I think about it. I'm like, this is it's not it's like you could be worried and you could be paralyzed with fear because of that, or you could be like, all right, I accept it. There is no there like I don't really know if there's like a way to not make this happen and to stop this train. So let me maybe like jump on the fucking train rather than getting ran over by it. So that's a thought. Working around in the head, don't know, hypothesis right now, but that's kind of again the heady high level piece of a lot of this because I have yet to think of a better way to think about it. Is kind of where I'm at. So anyway, a lot of other chats here on Claude that I've played around with and thought about pricing and packaging. Literally basement flooring underlayment. I probably should have like segmented this out into a slightly different account. Determining my rib injury. Talked to Claude a lot about that. So yeah. And also the only other thing. Let's take one step back. Let's get off the heady philosophical soapbox for a second, although that's probably one of my favorite places to be in the entire world. Let's get off of that for a second. Let's talk about like actual practical things as I maybe share a couple different things. So there's the one thing, if you're I don't know if who's going to be listening to this, especially at this point, but if you are trying to get deeper into these things, here's like and maybe I should do definitely a separate thing, but we'll see. There's an important thing to think about here because I've seen some patterns. Like, okay, Mark, which one should you use? Like, should you use Claude? Should you use ChatGPT? Whatever. You have to understand, just like at a basic level, like what's different about them. I've seen like a lot of patterns. One of them gets something, and the other one gets it a little bit later. Just at a high level, what I love about Claude is they have. I like to speak into the prompting thing. On mobile, they have a little button you can click. You just like it literally records your voice. It transcribes it after the fact. So that's super nice. Claude has these beautiful artifacts that come up on the side that are fantastic. Whether it's you're writing something or you're writing code, it's just great. It's like a really great experience. ChatGPT I think is a little shittier with that. ChatGPT though, I don't know when Claude's going to do this. ChatGPT has incredible actual voice chat with the thing where it chats back to you. You can have like a conversation with it. And then Gemini, which is Google's, also has that as well. So those are the three big ones that I play around with a lot. So let's head over. I think I have to share a different window. Let's do that. Replace screen sharing window. I'm logged in on my other profile. So this is gonna, oops, shit. Okay, go. All right. So we're headed over here. We're in ChatGPT now. Again, my personal journey. I use Claude. I've been paying for Claude for probably a year now. I don't even know how long it's been. I was paying for ChatGPT at first. Then I found Claude, and I thought Claude was better for again a lot of the writing stuff that I deal with all the time. So then I was like, I stopped ChatGPT, and then I just resubscribed to ChatGPT Plus when this whole Ghibli phenomenon and the image generation, everything like that came out. Cause I was like, I have to do this because I definitely like want this to actually happen. This is the next big thing. Right. So I was like, fuck it. I'll get back on ChatGPT. All right. So, everyone has probably seen this by now. If you're on the internet, you've seen the Ghibli thing and all that sort of stuff. Maybe you play with it, maybe you haven't, whatever. But I'm going to give you my spiel and my thought on here. Randomly thing, as we're just looking at the ChatGPT UI here or whatever, deep research. I haven't fucked with deep research at all. And I really don't know enough about it. So that's one thing that one like little buzzword or type of thing that I need to deal with. Obviously, I've done a ton of prompts. Really love the voice mode on. I love that you can do it on desktop too. It's incredible. But the one thing is like both of these can search the web now. Like Claude can search the web too, rather than just its language model. So you're kind of good there. A lot of times it'll kind of prompt you too to be like, hey, do you want me to search? So just definitely something of note there. Yeah, Google knows that their lunch is about to be eaten because they have an AI mode literally in the thing now, like in the for certain people at least, there you can turn your search into Google AI mode. So they know that this is serious. Oh Jesus. I can't say the G word in my house or I will trigger every device. So almost did there, thankfully not. Anywho, um, this is again ChatGPT. I'm not going to go super deep into this. I really want to go over here because if you haven't seen Sora yet, Sora they're doing some weird shit. I think like Sora is now images and video, which is kind of like I thought it was just video at first, but now like they have everything kind of here. This is what you've been seeing. If you haven't seen it yet, this is what you've been seeing. Sora.chatgpt.com. I don't know if you can get this for free. I think you might have to have the plus plan to play around over here. This guy is apparently in Pompeii. So it's really interesting, right? Um, I want to talk about this a little bit because there is some specific use cases that I've already started to use this for, but I think let's just take a step back because again, this is something that again I use my dad as the example because he's interested in this stuff, but he doesn't have like a ton of use cases for it. So I showed him this page. Obviously, it looked different at the time, but I showed him this page and I was like, these are fake people, like these are fake people, right? These aren't like real, like the ones that look like real people aren't real people. They're all artificially generated and everything like that. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain it to, and this is a really good thought. This is a really good exercise here. It's like these aren't real people. Like, how do you explain this to a lay person? Okay. And I'm thinking not just how do you explain it, but how do you even like rationalize, like, what is the reasoning for this? What is like, what are we going to use any of these for? Because some of them look like more usable than others. But how can you, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. This is the year of making money for Mark. Okay. So like how can I turn this into money? Not being like a, unethical piece of shit. I'm just saying like how can I integrate these things into my workflows or into my services to speed up what I'm doing to make more money ultimately. Because that's my goal. So how do we do that? And I'm just like looking at it and I'm honestly struggling at first from it. And then I see some really interesting things, thankfully, right away, as soon as it came out. The biggest thing was like, one of them was ads. So, for instance, I saw a lot of different videos where you could like, drop in an ad from, I don't know, like a brand or whatever. Say you had like a wallet company, you drop in an ad from Ridge Wallet, and then you drop in product image of yours. And then you could just basically be like, hey, just take the inspiration from this ad that exists, drop in our product pictures, drop in our language, our feature set, our whatever, and then it'll pop out like an ad. Now, is it a one-to-one perfect? I think a lot of people are kind of like one-shotting pretty decent things, but it is something that's like really intriguing to me. And I've already tried to kind of like do it a little bit with some of the clients that I have and things like that. So I don't know, just really interesting stuff there. To me, again, it's like, this is all well and good. I could pop in here from time to time and think up some images or whatever videos and do some different things. But again, we're just in this space right now where I feel like there's a camp of people that are like, this is incredible, this is amazing, I'm gonna make a lot of money from this. This is really cool. I want to do a lot of stuff with this. Then there's people that are like kind of like so I'm sort of in this camp where I'm kind of like literally stunned by how much you can do right now. Then there's the people that are total deniers. And if you're in that middle camp, it's like you're stunned, but you want to leverage it. And you're like, now the problem, this is a real fucking issue. I'm going to switch back to my face for this. This is a real problem. The problem is no longer asterisk, like it's becoming no longer the problem. Can we produce it? The problem is becoming, or can it get produced? Can I realistically produce it? Can I produce it like, at least a prototype, so to speak, whether it's an app or whether it's images or whatever? Can I do it? Can I do it easier? It's not can I produce it? It's do I have a fucking idea? Like that's the thing. And then I because I don't have any real great ideas. And then I'm like, do I think maybe I use the AI to come up with some of the ideas, to do some of the ideation, and then I also use the AI to build the fucking thing. It's like now we're just all managing these AI tools, which is honestly kind of interesting. Because I don't know. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I think that I have actually become, without having true manager experience, I feel like I've become a little bit better at describing things and taking more of like a managerial role because I'm managing like an AI tool here and there. Like I feel like it actually trains you a little bit, not greatly because it's not a fucking human, but like it trains you a little bit to be like more descriptive and actually give instructions better because you have to, because it's not magic. You have to actually give it what you want, and you have to explain it in a way where it's going to understand, based off of either the references that you give it or just the information that you give it in general. I think that's a real thing that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that, but I think that's like a really big one. Um, so something to consider, in a lot of areas. So yeah, should we try anything over here? Let me see here real quick. Images and videos. You never know what you're gonna see here. This is just incredible. Like Mona Lisa with a crayon. This is funny. The text, I mean, is so much better now. Got this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You could look through this all day. Um, it's crazy. It's wild. I'm really interested in the videos. I mean, again, this brings up a lot of other heady topics. It's like, how are we going to create videos? I never want to create a thumbnail again, so I'm super excited for when they do 16:9 generation. I can actually like, a little bit more of that. But like video, and some of these are disgusting, but like video, like I don't know. I mean, I've already seen Brendan O'Connell make like an AI generated video of himself. So it's like, I don't know. We're just like literally right here. Like we're right on the cusp of this, and I think it's going to continue to get crazy. And again, like I would say, I at least need to have a finger on this, because if I don't, then I'd feel like I'm going to be like, fucked. So that's the concept there. But I mean, I don't know. We can make some images here, but I'm probably not going to do that right now. I would encourage you guys to go check this out. There's nothing in here that I could like make that's like more impressive than this stuff right now. It'd probably be like, make an ad for, I don't know. I'll try that real quick. Like, can you, like a 1x1 ad? Can you make an ad? Why am I typing? What the fuck am I doing? Can you make an ad for Facebook? It's a bakery called Susan's Baked Goods. I'm envisioning a woman in a bakery baking a cake, putting icing on the cake maybe, and then this is for Facebook, so like I'm gonna have like like stuff up at the top and the bottom. I'm gonna have text on the outside of the image, but in the image I want to have a call to action of Pittsburgh's greatest cakes. I want to have that in a very like flowy, almost cursive font. And I want to have another call to action at the bottom that says, call us today to get your next birthday cake. I don't know. Something like that. Terrible prompt there off the top of my head. But the point is that I have no idea what that's going to do. So we'll add it to the queue. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, because that is going to take probably 5 minutes, I want to switch over to Lovable, because I've never tried Lovable. Everybody loves Lovable. It's lovable apparently. And I want to see what's going on. And I only have 5 messages, I think, at the moment with it. So yeah. All right, let's go over here. All right. I have no idea what this is. I mean, I do know what it is. I know what it can do, kind of, but I don't know. Let's think about this. What's something like reasonable? What does it say? Ask Level to create a web lab, a prototype. What's a habit tracker? Is there anything that I could actually use? Is there anything that I could like think about and actually use? Like a developer portfolio, kind of already have that. Um, habit tracker. I mean, again, I would love like I would love things that are actually somewhat usable. But again, at the same time, you know, I watched Jamie's video recently where he has like the headless WordPress thing kind of going on. Can you give it you can give it I wonder oh my god, you can Figma import. Is that Figma import? I'm wondering if you can I'm wondering like what the best way to do fuck it. Let's try this. Screenshot. I didn't download that. Hang on. Whoops. Download. Thank you. There you go. Why am I typing? Also, does this automatically do like React or something? This is a shit prompt, but we got to start somewhere. So I took a screenshot of my website and I asked if it could create it. Really great prompt there. Let's see what happens. Okay. Also, real quick, I'm going to copy the image that I know you can't see this, but it's doing its thing over there. Hang on. I'm going to drop this somewhere and I'm going to put it spinning up a preview. Oh, it loves my website. That's awesome. Can you not see this? This is probably super small. Looking at your website inspired by. Oh, wow. This shit is just slow. Probably because I have the free plan and because it's trying to do a lot of stuff. Interesting. Okay, well, that's working because apparently that takes a long time. Let me show you what the result was of our. That is what the thing generated for the ad. I mean, for 2 seconds of a prompt and not even thinking about it, you know, I don't really know what else to say. Like that's pretty fucking good. I didn't even give it an image. I didn't give it a reference image. I gave it a couple words. That's legit. Like that's, you know, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, maybe you know, obviously maybe this is like not where you want it to be and all that sort of stuff or whatever. Maybe it's not centered or whatever, but if you gave it a really good explanation of what you wanted it to do, could spin it up probably in a couple minutes. This guy literally said, build me a website from a screenshot. And his first reaction was, wow, that's slow, about 1.2 seconds. Well, dude, I mean, it's slow. I also have the free version. So, well, fuck, look at that. This is again, I want to stress, okay? I want to stress that this is my first time putting a prompt into this fucking thing, okay? I would not use this as a great testimonial for Lovable, okay? We are exploring, all right? I just want to see what it can do. I think this is the thing, is you do have to see what you can do at the dummy level, like a complete layperson level. Because that is the one thing where we're in this bubble of people that know about the shit, and they know, like, we know web design and we know a lot of stuff about web design, and we know that these tools can create web design stuff. But then you know, There's two things. How is this going to affect lay people? How is this going to affect professionals? I'm more interested in how it's going to affect professionals because I'm a professional. A lay person might do what I just did, and now they're going to get to this point, and it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do next? So, you know, that's kind of I'm trying to see it from both sides, but it was actually pretty fast. That's actually really interesting. I don't have Kinsta written there, do I? Did it just randomly put that there? That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. I mean, again, this wasn't really that difficult, I guess, of a website, but I've created a personal brand. Okay, refine, customize, master prompting, GitHub sync, pretty cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of tinkering here. Now, the funny thing is, just kind of like randomly put this image over here, but it's probably because it couldn't get these images, I guess, is kind of the concept. Again, the trouble here is I'm literally just trying to recreate like a website that I already have. And what happens with all this stuff? Code viewer. Okay, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I want to look at some of the code here. I take that back. I know a little bit. Okay, so is this like a React situation? Tailwind. Manage Supabase. Okay, so does it automatically use that? Visibility and publish. Is this going to work? We're publishing. Fuck it, published. I mean, again, that's not really that crazy of a design. But I'm not going to lie, like that's kind of impressive that I was just able to just spin up a little bit of it. So I was thinking about this. More so from the ChatGPT Sora environment. The trouble with that is, and this is where I really think the next generation is. I mean, well, obviously, in some ways, it already is here. But here's the problem. The problem is that I did this, and I have no idea. Like, if I wanted to change shit, I could probably like ask how to change it. I could probably prompt it to change it or whatever. But like, I have like code here that I could use, but I'm not the guy to do this. So that's an issue. However, if like, let's just use a stupid example like Canva. I could have made that thing wherever it's at. If I can pull it back up, I could have made this in Canva, more or less. I could have made this in Canva. So if you go into these tools, I think the real leverage part of this is if you go into the tools and they have good AI, like I know Canva has a little bit of it already, but if I could have done this in Canva and each of these could have been like, pieces that I could edit directly, that would be a huge thing, because then, and again, this is what this is, and effectively, but you have to know what you're doing. And that again is why the WordPress AI builder, as an example, is super dope. I almost want to pull that up and try that. I tried to get WordPress.com yesterday. I might try it just for funsies too. AI builder. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. I almost want to, I don't know. I think that's the next iteration of it though, is like where everything is like on its own platform, but then as soon as you start to integrate it into these other things, or like you actually get the the ability to edit them. The trouble is, again, this is really great for devs. Because they would look at this and they'd be like, oh, this is fucking stupid. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? Oh, this is fantastic. Thanks so much. So, yeah. Trying to think. What becomes the next? What becomes philosophical? What becomes the the highest leverage thing to do then? Is it learn what all this shit means as an example? Or is it learn to make it do whatever you want it to do? Or is it neither? I don't know. Because I mean, candidly, I sit here and I'm like, okay, well, I could continue to do this. I could continue to fuck around with this and make that's my actual website and make this thing like better as an example. Or like through this, like I could prompt more and make this thing better. Or do I, and I'm not saying Lovable is the right tool, but like what is, I don't know, it's just like very, this is why I like the nuanced why conversations because it's like, what are we doing? Like what should we be doing here? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, this is incredibly impressive. I may try to round this out a little bit um, with with the WordPress UI thing, if I can get it, or WordPress AI thing, if I can get it to work. But I mean, Matt did a pretty good job with it yesterday. I'm just trying to think, like, I don't know, where is the leverage? What lever can I pull in the stuff that I'm already doing to make this better? And I should probably stew on that a little bit more because I've already thought about a ton of them. I've listed a lot of them earlier. What are things that I have to do? This is probably the best way to frame this. What are things that I have to do? What are things that are making me money now that I have to do that I either don't want to do or take a lot of time? And then how do I get that to be automated or more effective and more efficient with AI? So if I'm doing now, if you guys have any thoughts, please put them in the chat. But I'm gonna just do a quick one for myself. Like again, the chapters, the titles, the descriptions, huge. Kind of basic though, just writing. Thumbnails, I should probably be extremely hyper focused on how to make better thumbnails with AI. Like that's probably has to happen. That is something that I've had to do a lot of, and I'm just dicking around in Canva trying to make the best thing possible that I can make most of the time in 20 minutes. So if I can make better thumbnails with AI, that would be huge. That would be at least one example of something for me that like kind of sort of makes me money or is on the plane of making me money that I could be better with there. The next thing would be should probably make individual things for these. Like the next thing is again updating shit and posting stuff like on social. That would be like another huge one for me because I do that relatively frequently. I would still post individually for certain things, but that would probably be one. There's a ton of like things posting to, I think a big one is, I think this is the concept. I don't know. I've read a couple things here and there, like the whole Tumblr thing, how that's probably not going to happen anymore. But the concept of like either posting in one place and it goes to all your channels, or like obviously those exist already, but some level of that where you're not reliant on like a whole ass like separate SaaS for it. All this stuff can be done already. I'm just not doing it with like an N8N or something like that. Yeah. I think though, in a lot of ways, like myself included, like and probably some other people, I'm probably overcomplicating it to a degree. It's like, if you watch guys like again, like Nick Sarive or whatever, that more on the automation AI side, it's like just do the simple shit for these businesses. Like I think really the gold mine right now is still in like agency level productized work because all of these people, like we're looking at this, like the conversations that we're having right now, only a percentage of the world is having them. The rest of the percentage is still stuck in possibly fucking 1990 with some of the ways that they do shit. So there's a real opportunity there, and I have been leveraging that more and more recently, which is great. So that's one piece of it that I think is like super important. Like there's still a lot of meat on the bone there to get those people to kind of like pull those people into the next realm. So I think I need to focus on that a little bit too. John says, I'm currently using Lovable to generate the base project ideas I have, then download the project from GitHub and load to Visual Studio Code or Tray and continue with Claude there. That's nice. I mean, there's just too many of these for even to think about. Like there's obviously like Cursor and shit too, but that's a good workflow. The prompt you should be building is a lead gen for your agency. Interesting. Okay. Have the client input their URL. It takes a screenshot and then sends that to ChatGPT to analyze it and then creates a custom MJS branded report. Okay. This guy's got chock full of ideas. Matt Medeiros is no stranger to great ideas. Then you Venmo me 200 when you land your first client. This guy. Yeah. I don't, I mean, that's an interesting one. Have the client input their URL, takes a screenshot, and then sends them to ChatGPT to analyze it. It's a good idea. Well, maybe we should try that. Problem is, I could sit here and I could dick around with it, or I could try to mess around with it later. I love doing stuff live because it's like a great use of time, but I don't know where to begin with that. Yeah. I wonder what, I mean, that's interesting to dive into though. Like what are we analyzing? We're analyzing just kind of like how shitty their website is. That's actually kind of fun. Maybe I should roast my own website real quick. Let's try to put the pieces together there for a second. Let me go here. Let me go here, here, here. We'll use Jippity here. Let me see if I could. It's just for funsies. Let's see this. All right. Just actually prompt it every time to roast the shit out of their website. That would be hilarious. Let's try. Okay, so I have a thought. Well, I didn't have the thought. My uncle had the thought. But if I gave you a screenshot like this of somebody's homepage of their website, could you then create a report? Could you analyze it and create a report to tell them all of the things that my web design agency could improve for them just based off of a design standpoint and a conversion rate optimization standpoint? Solid start. Oh man, about to roast me. All right. Obviously, you'd probably put some level of like a better prompt or a project or something together. You wouldn't do this manually. You would probably automate this. Version rate optimization. Interesting. You might want to review it first too. It's a pretty good one. Simplify CTAs for better funnel control. Branded PDF to send to your clients. Fuck yeah, I do. Um, let's see what it can do. Um, agency name is Find It Tech. Watch this. Matt Medeiros with the $1 million ideas. You guys would be very, very, very smart to just follow everything Matt Medeiros says, because in 3 to 5 years, it all comes true. Let me see here. I'm finding a logo. I don't know what this is going to do, but we'll give it a shot. See what you can do there, Jippity. I don't know why it gives us 2 responses thing. It's probably just like... It's like, I gotta give you feedback on this. I heard Firebase was like kind of good and kind of bad. Oh boy. Okay, that was a little rough. A little rough there. Daddy Matt Medeiros. I normally go uncle, but that works too. Fuck, this is a little slow. Why can't you make me money faster, ChatGPT? Goddamn. It didn't really like the logo concept, but you know, there's a really good way that you could do it. It's the flow would probably be N8N or something, and it would probably be dumping this into a Google Doc with you know, kind of a be templated, and then there'd be some variables. That would probably be the way to do it. That's what my boy Nick Sarayev says to do. Fuck, I might have to do this now. This is a good idea. Give Matt Medeiros commission on everyone that I send through. The last thing while this is doing this, if it comes through, is the other thing that I'm like really interested in is I do think that I have a lot of some good knowledge. I'm wondering if one of the big things that's going to happen is like self LLMs, at least in the short term. What is this going to look like? Oh shit. Okay. Well, I don't know why I didn't put the thing in the other one, but obviously kind of looks like shit, but actually for, 2 seconds, that's not bad. All right. Well, that's a valid idea there. Appreciate that, Matt. I think I'll kind of end it on this kind of heady topic here. Is wondering. I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. Is like basically take everything that I say and do, and put that into my own LLM, and be like, this is basically me, and you could have access to this if you feel so inclined. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's already stuff for that, because there's stuff for everything already. But I'm wondering just in general how, like, not just with me, but with anybody, like, is that like super is that going to be like super viable or super like valuable when we already have all these other LLMs that basically just took stuff from everywhere anyway? I feel like that would have been like super helpful when we didn't necessarily have it all. But now, like, it's like, would you rather have just Steve Jobs's knowledge base, or would you rather have everyone's knowledge base? Does that include I don't know. Just a weird thought there. But I got to get ready to go to my rib doctor appointment. Hopefully I don't have any broken ribs, but I'll keep you guys updated. Follow me on X. Yeah. What's the takeaways here? The takeaways are that shit's moving really fast. We shouldn't really be afraid of it. We should want to capitalize on it. We should want to make money from it. We shouldn't get rid of our whole previous business knowledge and previous experience on everything. But at the same time, there's a lot of opportunity. And my plan, truthfully, is uh I think I want to make more money, and then I want to use those uh achievements to garnish more uh attention or influence for the right reasons, so I could continue to educate more people. Because I think that's really going to be the big thing here. It's what I'm seeing. You got to be consistent, you got to provide value, you got to have some level of some sort of fucking like achievement that you can like constantly rail on, because then people will follow you almost just because of that. And yeah, that's kind of one of the motifs I'm seeing. Don't know if it's right or wrong. Currently, that's the hypothesis. But yeah, a lot more good stuff on the way here. I don't know. There's just a lot. You got to feel like I got to take a breath sometimes because there's too much to talk about. Just got to one tool at a time, one day at a time, one project at a time. But that's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching, all the great comments and engagement and thoughts and everything like that. I think I learned something in this. Hope you did too. So mjspodcast.com, WP Town Hall tomorrow. A lot of good stuff coming. If you want to see anybody on the MJS podcast or WP Town Hall, definitely let me know, because always looking for guests, especially on Town Hall with WordPress and WordPress adjacent people. Anybody that you want to talk to directly, you can do it on WP Town Hall. So definitely let me know. But that's all I got. I'll keep you guys updated on the ribs. Thank you so much for being here.